All right, we got new Ren. I do want to apologize to everybody that is new to the channel, old to the channel. I have been neglecting, I wouldn't say not neglecting. I haven't been able to get to Ren's stuff as quickly as I want to. He's kind of one of the only artists right now outside of one or two that have been releasing stuff pretty steadily every other week or so. And I've just been about a week behind in getting them out. He releases stuff on Thursdays, which is like my busiest day. So normally I'm at least in the chat with the volume down, not looking at the video, just looking at the chat, saying hi to everybody. So I apologize I haven't been able to do that. But like I said, Thursdays are my busiest day. I've been watching the episodes that he's released in kind of going through his troubles, unintended, but going through kind of his life, his issues of just all of his mental, physical ailments that he's gone through. And it's a roller coaster of emotions listening to some of that stuff, because a lot of it you resonate with, a lot of it you just don't really understand because you haven't gone through it, right? So you feel for the guy, you want to give him a big hug, but also to see that he has gotten through that is a big thing. It's an awesome thing. But anyways, I want to get into this. I'm ready for this one as much as you can be ready for a Ren song, I guess. I always feel like I'm ready and think I know what's going to happen. Ren always finds a way to surprise me, whilst also still being Ren, right? It's greatness of Ren. I do have a Patreon. If you guys like this reaction, like my content, like what you see, you can go ahead and support me on Patreon. Lots of cool stuff on my Patreon. Right now, I'm focusing a lot on my Patreon. I'm editing 2 major videos right now, one of which is I'm going to do a series where I go through all of Taylor Swift's new album, break down every song from the music, chord progressions, production quality, lyrics, or writing style, all of that stuff. So it's a deep dive on all of that. And I'm also doing a deep dive into High Ren and the music of High Ren, as well as kind of the chord progressions there and all of that stuff. So a really big deep dive on both of those 2 things that I'm really excited about. And there's also movie reactions and TV show reactions on there as well. So if you do like my content, feel free to support me there. Again, it's not expected or required, but it does help the channel a lot. So I do appreciate that so much. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into this Ren Troubles. Here we go.
I don't reach into the past very much for these shards of shattered glass and harsh paper cuts. Leave me stop when I reach in, memories are seeped in. Hydrochloric acid, I go to war and get passive and freeze up. Music help the ice to thaw, put the chisel in the middle, swing the hammer of Thor. Pull it out of the impossible, Excalibur sword. Edging notepads full of reasons why my feelings are sore.
So, all right, so lots of cool stuff here. I want to go back to the beginning real quick. There's something I heard that was pretty cool that Ren does often, but I always like to point it out because it's something that the more musically inclined artists in the hip hop do, and we'll talk about it. Really cool beat, by the way. Again, an old school type of vibe.
I don't reach into the past very much for these shards of shattered glass and harsh paper cuts. Leave me.
I like that he kind of harmonized that part, right? Obviously, it's leading into the verse and he's rapping, but there's a harmonized portion there. So yeah, he's not technically singing. You can still harmonize hip hop vocals. You can still harmonize rap. And he's definitely singing that background portion right there. Really cool. I love when hip hop artists do that, where they add musicality into the rapping part of it and not just rely on the beat to be the musicality, right? I think it adds to the song. Always.
I don't reach into the past very much for these shards of shattered glass and harsh paper cuts. Leave me stop when I reach in, memories are seeped in. Hydrochloric acid, I go to war and get passive and freeze up. Music help the ice to thaw, put the chisel in the middle, swing the hammer of Thor. Pull it out of the...
Does that music help the ice Thor? What was that? I gotta see this.
Put the chisel in the middle, swing the hammer of Thor. Pull it out of the impossible, Excalibur sword. Edging notepads full of reasons why.
Right. Pull it out of the impossible, but he's talking about he's keeping with the metaphor, like the Excalibur sword, right?
Pull it out of the impossible, Excalibur sword. Etching notepads full of reasons why my feelings are sore. The first day that I got sick, ejected from the cockpit of living. 19, young teen, waking up bitten. Posters up, manhunt, ran, went missing. Hard to have faith when the gods don't listen. The first hit maybe was the hardest. Waking in the body that was buried like a carcass. Brain in the lion's den, body in the shark pit. Waking up in pain again, aching, broken hearted. Persistent little bugger, I was bound.
Yeah, I mean, hearing some of his episodes, I feel like he only kind of scratched the surface on all of these songs he's released so far. And some of his interviews, if you've watched them, on really like the amount of turmoil that he went through. And I'm talking physically, I'm talking mentally, right? That type of physical pain ends up leading to mental pain. It just does. And I'm not surprised that it led to psychosis, right? I mean, I've never personally succumbed to anything that's led me to psychosis, but I can understand being in such immense physical pain that your body tries to trick you into this kind of alternate reality or false sense of reality, whatever you want to call it, that comes with psychosis, right? Psychosis is a lot of things, but that's kind of one thing that can go along. That's kind of a symptom of it. I understand that completely. I just, it's rough, man. It's rough that a human being such as Ren would go through pain like that. And I think to understand that that's a possibility is definitely wavering. But to know that he got out of it with how bad he was into it, I think is the other edge, the other side of that coin, right?
In the body that was buried like a carcass. Brain in the lion's den, body in the shark pit. Waking up in pain again, aching, broken hearted. Persistent little bugger, I was bouncing from a doctor to a doctor to a doctor, like a table tennis game that has no end. So be the fate of Ren. Every single question answered with a question on the end. The second year I came to terms with giving up my dreams. Mine was severed from the means to help me write these rhyme schemes. Brain was inflamed, the fatigue was crushing. Hard to remain sane with your brain combusting. And the third year was murder, living in a purgatory full of worry, wouldn't live to be 30. Lifestyle hurt me, always in my bed tomb. Rearranged the alphabet and all the letters spelled doom. Light hurt my eyes, popping pills to survive.
At the beginning of the song, right, started at like age 19. 3 years later, it would be 22. It's easy math, I should get that. And he's saying he's worried about living to his 30s. I couldn't imagine going through this stuff at age 19, man. Like, looking back, I obviously when I was 19, I thought, one, I was invincible, but two, I knew everything there is to know. And boy, was I an idiot, right? But to have to go through that type of shit at 19, I'm sure he matured real fast.
Your brain combusting. And the third year was murder, living in a purgatory full of worry, wouldn't live to be 30. Lifestyle hurt me.
Sorry, I don't want to keep stopping it. He's doing the common thing for hip hop vocal background where it's, you know, you basically dub some of the words, but instead of just dubbing it in the same kind of unison notes, he has some modulation on it. But first it starts on the left side, then it goes to the right side, then left, and he's kind of going back and forth, right? Keeping it interesting. Again, Ren's never he keeps it simple, but not so simple that it's like predictable, which I like.
Murder, living in a purgatory full of worry, wouldn't live to be 30. Lifestyle hurt me, always in my bed tomb. Rearranged the alphabet and all the letters spelled doom. Light hurt my eyes, popping pills to survive. When you're 23 and mentally you steadily decline. 24 I was poor, disability benefits. What's the benefit of disability? It's irrelevant. 25 and the scars that were etched, they crack. Elastic bands only stretch so far and then snap. Deep in psychosis, hallucinations, troubled vision. Visits from the underworld were conjuring my superstition. 25 living back at home with my mom, but not because I'm alone.
Visions from the underworld. What was that line?
Underworld were conjuring my superstition.
Underworld conjuring my superstition. I'm going to take that metaphorically first, right? Underworld conjuring a like the devil's taking over, the demons that are coming about because of this probably being in a consistent negative mental state. He's getting these negative, the negative energy is becoming these you know, this devil on your shoulder, whatever, telling him to just succumb to what he feels and to succumb to the negativity, right? But also, like, because he's in psychosis, I'm pretty sure it's pretty literal that he's seeing the visions of like black shadows trying to reach and pull you under, right? I'm pretty sure he saw stuff like that in his psychosis breaks of stuff like that. Literally, he being conjured from the depths of hell to be pulled under, right? Really interesting how kind of like the double there, right? Where it could be a metaphorical thing that makes sense, but also literal that makes sense.
We're conjuring my superstition. 25 living back at home with my mum, but not because I'm a bum, alone and physically done. So thin, so frail, so weak I'd become, and my skin so pale, never kissed by the sun. One time I carved a hole in my chest just to feel. I wish that was a metaphor, the struggle was real. When you're living in the Holocaust, you buckle and kneel. There's relief in the teeth of the kiss of cold steel. Facts. 26, I'm highly medicated and the pain sophisticated while I'm lying broken naked on my back. I bore my microphone until my coffin started dropping raw thoughts with the grim reaper knocking on the track. But then, man, lo and behold, I heard an angel beckon on this treacherous road. Was a stem cell doctor with a generous glow. In the cell transplant, pulled me out of the cold. And my skin got younger and my body got stronger. And my stomach felt hunger for a door that was closed. And my soul heard music for the first time. Beauty was a word I'd use for this gift of gold. Oh Lord, I forgive you. Lord, I forgive you. Lord, I forgive you.
I want to go through that whole thing again. I wanted to let it go because some of the shit he was saying there was really, really deep. But I want to analyze it for a second.
Hole in my chest just to feel. I wish that was a metaphor. Carved a hole in my chest just to feel.
Carved a hole in my chest just to feel.
I thought the struggle was real. When you're living in the Holocaust, you buckle and kneel.
When you're living in the Holocaust, you buckle and kneel, right? Obviously, people in the Holocaust literally were like whipped, beaten, and stuff to their knees. Right, so again, a metaphor. It's like his body's committing genocide against himself, essentially. That's what I'm taking from that line right there. Again, deep, very deep. But he's also like, I'm pretty sure physically he's literally on his knees too, because of the pain, because of the turmoil.
Of course you buckle and kneel. There's relief in the teeth of the kiss of cold steel.
The relief in the teeth and the kiss of cold steel. I think I think people who deal with depression and just being in that sort of nothing can make you feel anything, any positivity. You're in that negative. Sometimes any feeling, bad, good, indifferent, is welcome, right? You're so numb to everything. And I'm not saying he wasn't feeling any type of, because he was in a lot of pain, but to just feel something different other than that pain you're feeling, even if it's a different pain, you take solace in that. You take something out of that. And again, this is my interpretation, but for him to say that, to feel that cold steel on his chest, like, was relief, I understand that. I understand, having dealt with some depressive episodes in my past, where sometimes you just need to feel something. Bad, good, indifferent, it doesn't matter. You need to feel something. Man, deep lines, again, can be lost in kind of the chill vibe of this song, right? These are really, really deep, really dark undertones with a really good message.
Facts. 26, I'm highly medicated and the pain sophisticated while I'm lying broken naked on my back. I bore my microphone until my coffin started dropping raw thoughts with the grim reaper knocking on the track.
He's talking about, even though his mind wasn't great, he still had the mind enough to write great songs, write good lyrics, right? And he's keeping up with his music as much as he can.
Medicated and the pain sophisticated while I'm like
and sophisticated
on my back. I bore my microphone until my coffin started dropping raw thoughts with the grim reaper knocking on the track. But then, man, lo and behold, I heard an angel beckon on the
pouring it all out on his tracks, right? So he's talking about with the grim reaper on the track. So he's putting all of his struggle out into his music.
Reaper knocking on the track. But then, man, lo and behold, I heard an angel beckon on this treacherous road. Was a stem cell doctor with a generous glow. In the cell transplant, pulled me out of the cold. And my skin got younger and my body got stronger. And my stomach felt hunger for a door that was closed. And my soul heard music for the first time. Beauty was a word I'd use for this gift of gold. Oh Lord, I forgive you. Lord, I forgive you. Lord, I forgive you. Make me whole. This music music I give you, pain that I live through, everything I've been through is yours to hold.
Man. Before I forget, I want to go to, I don't know if this was planned or not. If it wasn't planned, it's like the heavens speaking, right? But essentially, like, the end of this song is him talking about how he kind of learned that all the pain he went through could lead to something positive. And it's almost like he's kind of now living his life in comparison to before in the luxury state, right? Where he's able to take what's happened to him, learn from it, use it to do good onto others, and, you know, make others' lives better. That's the luxurious life he's living. By no means am I saying is his life perfect. What I'm saying is compared to his life beforehand, right? What's kind of a symbol of luxurious life is the limo. And the limo's back there. And the way he smiled while it pulled up, I don't think it was intentional, man. Where is it at?
Oh Lord, I forgive you. Lord,
Gift of gold.
Lord, I forgive you. Make me whole. This music I give you, pain that I live through, everything I've been through is yours to hold.
That's gotta be like intentional or not. It's great imagery, right? An interesting choice here because I feel like I don't know what that is. I think it's just the volume turned way up on a vocal track with a bunch of modulation, and then the peaks turned off to get that kind of sound. It's very in your face and it's not chill compared to the rest of the song, but I think it's to just differentiate the ending and bring it to a close. But and also kind of like a red herring, right? When like a lot of times in movies and TV shows, they would have a phone ring at an important part, so your brain gets re-engaged in what's going on. I think it re-engages you into what you're reading. But I do like at the end of this, and since we went through everything at the beginning, we don't need to go through it again. But the thing I like about this the most is, you know, literally most of this is him talking about his struggles, like I said before, and his pain, both mental and physical, and so much of the bad things he went through. But at the end of this is basically a positive message to anybody going through the same stuff as to there is light at the end of the tunnel and you can get through it. And it's, look, a lot of people, a lot of us literally just need, we hear it from our family all the time, but I think in the back of our heads, right, when our family's like, you can do this, we love you, blah, blah, blah. It's more of like almost we feel like they're obligated to say that, and it kind of takes away the authenticity of it. And I don't think that's true in hindsight, but I think that's how we think about it, right? It's like, well, they're obligated to say that. They're my family. They have to say that. What are they going to tell me, right? They're going to tell me negative things. But when a stranger tells you something like that, or somebody that you don't know personally that isn't obligated to in any way says it, it means something else. It holds more weight. As backwards as that sounds, I totally understand that. But I do like that he came in here at the end with positive message, right? I do like that a lot. And it sounds like I'm not like a lot of you fans out there who are like diving deep into this and, you know, following his every move. I like to kind of go into this with kind of a fresh perspective in a sense of, you know, not being totally engaged in everything he's doing. But it does sound like he's putting a lot of his time and energy into focusing on the stuff that he's went through and helping others get through it in a better way. You know, I have faith in the medical industry in something and not so much in others that we won't get into. But I do think that science is evolving very rapidly and it's evolving exponentially. So I do think a lot of these things that that he mentioned, you know, with Emmy and just all the different things that he's gone through and how they're hard to diagnose, they aren't given a lot of attention. I think that will change over time. The more and more people that talk about it, like everybody's been changing their icons to missing for Emmy, you know, just to bring notoriety to it and awareness to it. All that stuff helps for sure. But I think the bigger and bigger Ren gets, the more he can use that power for positivity is great. And I think that's going to help a lot. Look, man, I've had a couple people tell me that they like this the best. I've heard that for every song. I do think this is a good one. And not just because of the music. I love the chill. Like, this was a lot like Power, right? It's a little bit more of a sadder song than Power was. Power was positive and it talked about kind of engaging your positive energy or taking the negativity and turning it into a positive energy. This is a little bit more negative, but it has that same type of vibe to it. And I really like Power, but I think I like this one better only because of the message within it. The music is similar. It's very chill beat, old school beat with him kind of just telling a story, right? Over the lyrics. Nothing too incredible when it comes to the story like Hiren, right? It's just his story pretty much laid out literally with some metaphors here and there. You know, Ren being an artiste and a poet, he's gonna get some of those lines in there, right? But I do think this was a really cool, all-encompassing the music, subject matter, and the message. I think those three things make this a really, really great song. And I do think that what's lacking in music today outside of creativity is kind of an overall message that resonates with others, right? A lot of artists talk about love lost. A lot of artists talk about, you know, being a boss and making money and all that stuff. A lot of people talk about, you know, have hatred in their music. Ren's always about some type of message that is helpful to not only himself but to others. And that's literally the embodiment of this song. This is the embodiment of Ren here. Very simple, very concise. There's a lot of metaphors in it, but most of it is literal and tells you exactly what he means. That's Ren in a nutshell, in my opinion. That's the quintessential Ren right there. Really, really cool. You know, I think one of the unique things about Ren, and I'm going to keep this short and sweet at the end here, but one of the unique things about Ren is the fact that he does pretty much all of the work on this, right? In the recent days, I've talked with friends and stuff about the whole beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar and all that stuff. And in my opinion, and there's a point here, in my opinion, anything that Drake could say or rap about, even if it was like the best flow, the best cadence, like the words were amazing, he ain't writing those words, man. Like, he's not, there's somebody else doing that for him. So that takes away how meaningful it is, in my opinion, to me. Ren produces all this stuff. He writes the lyrics, he raps all of it, he does the music for it, produces it. I'm guarantee you he has most of the say in the mix. He has help with the videos, obviously, but this is all Ren's brain being put out there for all of us to see. And that's not very present in art, in really any artists out there right now. I mean, we have like the Taylor Swifts of the world, right? Who write their stuff. Say what you will about the music, but she writes all of her stuff too. She has help though. She has somebody else writing it with her. But there's very seldom that the artists out there in the mainstream specifically that do all of this on their own, right? So that's one of the big things about Ren. And then just his overall positivity is unmatched. I don't think anybody out there right now is as positive and as, you know, all about community in all regards like Ren is. So, yeah, man, Ren will forever be one of my favorites of all time. And he will forever be in my heart as a really great artist. And I'm excited to see some more of these new tracks, but I'm really excited to see his new album coming out. So anyways, if you enjoyed this and you like this, please make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. But more importantly, make sure you like Ren. Subscribe to Ren's channel. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. If you guys haven't heard Ren, this is your first Ren track, please go down his rabbit hole, man. There's so much good stuff from him. This is only a little taste of what he can do. So much talent in this guy, rapping, playing guitar, playing piano, singing, everything. The guy's got the whole package. I appreciate the love and support. Thank you so much. And please do remember that good vibes are contagious.